It's your boy Guru in the house, back with another Arsenal news episode. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that haunted me yesterday was this very moment that I'm sharing with you guys. If you guys remember this, the Nicola Pepe goal that was ruled out. I hate it. I hate it that it was ruled out, man. It's crazy, but that is so. Yeah. But let's just talk about the news that we have here for you guys. Of course, no, not nothing about the VAR, but let's get into some statistics of the game. So yesterday night, a first away win against Liverpool since 1999, first away win against Arsenal since 1996 for Everton. Carlo Ancelotti was on fire. Everton's Premier League record with Mikel Arteta against Arsenal. 11 games, 2 wins. Everton's Premier League record against Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, 3 games, 2 wins. They have done their first Premier League double against Arsenal. And in 22 years, Arsene Wenger's lowest Premier League tally points was 63 at the end of his final season in 2017-2018. The maximum Arsenal can earn this season is 61 points. Yep. Everton have beaten Arsenal away from home. Yes, as already mentioned, it's a winless run, ending a winless run of 26 games. They had never beaten Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. That is a fact. So moving on. So Arsenal have now failed to keep a clean sheet in each of their last 9 home games. Leeds United, Man City, Benfica, Spurs, Olympiacos, Liverpool, Slavia Prague, Fulham, and Everton. They have failed to keep a clean sheet, and how bad it is. Very goddamn bad. Very goddamn bad. So moving on, and look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It was you can actually see this is the protest by the Spurs fans. Look at the turn up. 12, 13 people. Anyways, so with great responsibility, McKenna has been given a new contract. Yes, Jordan McKenna has been given a new contract, and his Integrity Sports Limited have said a big thank you to Per Mertesacker and Arsenal for taking care of Ireland's biggest young talents, and that includes Jordan McKenna. So congratulations, Jordan McKenna, of getting his first senior contract with Arsenal. So moving on, so as I already mentioned this, and these are the fans that turned up for the Cronky Out protest yesterday. A Liverpool and a Manchester United fan, and they're united against greed. Look at that. I'll show you. Look at this powerful image. How beautiful is this image? Unreal. And look at this. Silence stand. Oh my god. Arsenal fans are savage. Here we go. For Colonel, not a franchise. Oh yeah. Whatever. So Bernd Leno's mistake yesterday night was have not gone unnoticed. So Arsenal have failed to score in 8 of 17 matches at the Emirates Stadium in the Premier League this season. Only West Brom and Fulham have failed to score in more home Premier League games in 2021 compared to Arsenal. So also, according to Paul Tenario, all 12 Super League clubs are still in the project. Behind the scenes, they are working on a new reshaped format, which they are confident will be widely accepted. So Mikel Arteta spoke about the fans. He says, I'm desperate to have the fans back in the stadium because we really need them. This team really needs them. We have a really young team that has to experience the emotion and security and trust that comes when you feel your people really behind you, and that's something that you have to experience to understand the difference it makes rather than playing at home with none of them. Arteta, on being unhappy with the VAR decision on the penalty, he says, well, this is because it is building up and enough is enough. And today, to be fair, I had enough. We have had many of them and no one explains. When they explain, they say sorry, it was a mistake, but unfortunately it is affecting a lot of people, and it is affecting our job, and most importantly our football club. And talking about Leno's mistake, Arteta says, I will tell him that we all make errors, it's part of the football, and you have to be prepared to lift yourself up and focus on the next challenge. And talking about the defeat, he says, performance wise, we were the better team, we controlled the game, and we had some opportunities and openings. We had a clear penalty that was disallowed somehow, and then we scored an own goal. The penalty is clear, those decisions have been made after. I don't know who, but we cannot see their faces to explain it. It's second time in 2 weeks. I can see the images 20 times and I don't get it. Arsenal at home in the Premier League this season, 17 games, 6 wins, 4 draws and 7 losses, 19 goals scored, 20 goals conceded. We are good away from home than being at home. Wow. Kevin Campbell says the top goalkeepers don't concede goals like that. I kind of disagree with that. So yeah. Graham Souness about Arteta's post-match interview says, when the manager comes on and all that they can highlight is the penalty that they should have had, which was never a penalty. If that's what you're hanging on your hat on to get a result, that ain't good. And he accepts those Bruno Fernandes penalty from last season. Shut up, Graham Souness. Shut up. Folarin Balogun was not on the bench doing the warm-up on the pitch with the rest of the Arsenal substitutes as well. So let's talk about Arsenal's away form this season. 16 matches played, 7 wins, 6 losses, 3 draws, 25 goals scored, 17 goals conceded, plus 8 goal difference. We really played better away from home than playing at home. And Arsenal's remaining fixtures this season include Villarreal away, Newcastle away, Villarreal home, West Brom home, Chelsea away, Crystal Palace away, Brighton home, and of course, if and only if we could reach the Europa League final. Otherwise, yeah, you could say that. Crazy stuff. And also, Alan Smith on Everton says they've probably played a lot better than this in lost games, but yes. And Thomas Partey made more ball recoveries and more interceptions than anyone else on the pitch during the first half against Everton. 10 ball recoveries and 2 interceptions. Crazy stuff. And Ian Wright on Arsenal fans protesting against Stan Kroenke says, I stand with them. I made it clear the other day what I think about the owner, and he tweeted out #Kroenke out. Wow. And now we talk about the one, the only Daniel EK. Yes, there's only one solution, #Kroenke out. So Daniel EK, the owner of Spotify, the founder and owner of the popular app Spotify, has expressed his desire to buy Arsenal from KSE. Can he? Well, we checked out his profile, like what is his net worth as a Spotify co-founder. Let's see what happens. So Arsenal fans did not wait long to find out who would be interested in signing, or rather buying Arsenal from Stan Kroenke's hands. So so Spotify co-founder Daniel Ek has actually expressed his interest in buying the club. Now he tweets out, as a kid growing up, I've cheered for Arsenal as long as I can remember. If KSE would like to sell Arsenal, I'd be happy to throw my hat in the ring. Now, but how much is Ek worth? Like Ek's net worth is £3.1 billion, having been a co-founder of Spotify and remaining the largest shareholder, still holding a large stake of the platform, which has around 345 million user. That net worth is only half of what Stan Kroenke's net worth is, which is £5.91 billion. But Arsenal have not exactly seen the benefit of that anyway. So it's almost certain that they will be happy to see someone with a smaller net worth take over the club if they are willing to invest. The issue is Josh Kroenke recently said his family, who bought Arsenal, they have no intention to sell Arsenal in the near future, suggesting an uphill battle for Ek, even if he's truly interested. So Arsenal's club value has been also more than double than Kroenke's bought it. So meaning that Ek would likely need partners or a big loan to purchase the club. Yeah, on his own it's going to be super difficult. Very difficult. So Martin Tyler has actually slammed Josh Kroenke following the Arsenal comments as utterly patronizing and stupid. And Martin Tyler comes out with something. He has heavily criticized Josh Kroenke after his call with the fan forum. He says, yes. So he says, Senor, okay, here we go. So he says that Senor Perez has been enlightening us with words of apparent wisdom. I think Josh Kroenke's mention about English fans liking their winter nights in Stoke is utterly patronizing and stupid. Yep, that's where the whole problem went on, wasn't it? So moving on, let's discuss the overall, what is exactly reality and how exactly is the Super League now going to take place. So Eduard Romeu, FC Barcelona vice president, says it's true that there's pressure and it's very high, but we are convinced that by talking to all the parties involved, we'll find an agreement. The Super League is good for football and for Barcelona. We're trying to find an agreement with football institutions and in order to turn this project into a reality. And Florentino Perez again was asked about, here's what he said. He said, how long until the Super League starts? As soon as possible before the train leaves the station. La Liga held a meeting without Real Madrid, Barcelona and Atletico. All I have to say is that those three clubs bring the most money to La Liga. That's the truth. Attacking those who benefit you the most isn't normal. We need to know where revenue comes from in football. Sponsors have to be actual sponsors, not just looking like sponsors. Now it's time to make an effort and explain the project to people. Explain to them that it's not a closed league. If states or billionaires can start injecting unlimited money into their clubs, then it will be difficult to compete as equals. That's why we need to know where everyone's money comes from. We need a transparency. First of all, we need a strict financial fair play system that allows you to compete as equals, not against state-owned clubs like now. The Super League will start as soon as possible, but first we have to explain the project properly to the people, because they've been manipulated by some people who only want to protect their privileges. JP Morgan leave the project, that's not true either. JP Morgan gave themselves some time to think, just like the 12 clubs, and if we have to change something, we'll change it. The clubs signed a binding contract and can't leave the Super League. Some of them had to come out and say they're leaving because of all the pressure. But this project or another one very similar will happen, and I hope it will be very soon. Now, the Premier League clubs still exist. The Super League club still exists and the members are still in it. Now we have given ourselves some weeks to think, while we face the violence that some people who wouldn't want to lose their privileges have used to manipulate our project. So the clubs have now left it. It's going to come up with something, and I'm pretty much sure. I hope it isn't devious as it was before. So with this, we end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you seek daily Arsenal content, best place to be, consider subscribing. Cheers.